Hey, help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also hit that like button to subscribe if you want more Cavs-focused content.
All right, the Cavs are off another victory, have won their 14th in a row, and have swept in the regular season at least the Milwaukee Bucks, who I believe are the 4 or 3 seed. They're in the running, right? The Bucks are no slouch of a basketball team. It's also worth remembering that the Milwaukee Bucks were healthy this game. I know that's been a point of contention amongst Bucks fans when the Cavs told their record on them, is that the Bucks weren't healthy in the majority of these contests that Milwaukee got to play them in, and this was a healthy Bucks team. Giannis was there, Dame was there. I mean, this is about as healthy as you get there for Milwaukee. Cavs still able to beat them by a significant margin, right? We're talking about Tristan Thompson playing about 2.5 minutes in this game. I think end game margin ended up being like 15 or 16. I have to double check. I'm recording this right before the game ends. As you guys know, it is my policy and principle, once Tristan Thompson checks into a game and the game is not close, that game is over. I don't know how everybody else does it, but that's how this channel does it. I check out immediately when I see Tristan Thompson. No disrespect to the former champ, just, anything that happens after that changes the score, really could care less. So this game I thought was a interesting illustration on where the Cavs are as a basketball team and what their strengths are versus what a lot of casual NBA fans and just general NBA fans always default to, which is star power, right? Milwaukee Bucks got more star power, arguably, than the Cleveland Cavaliers. They got Giannis, they got Dame Lillard, like two guys who were top tier stars for their generation for a very long time. And those stars came out and they hooped for the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis had 38 and 3. Dame had 22 and 4 in this game. The Cavs stars, right, if you look at the star backcourt for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, they were outscored by Giannis alone in this game. Cavs were up by like 20 by the time that those guys checked out. So yes, those guys went off. Their stars went off. But it didn't matter because the Cavs don't need that in order to win basketball games when their bench is playing this well. Every player that checked in for the Cleveland Cavaliers before the end of the game, at least, 9 points for Dean Wade, 9 points for Ty Jerome, 9 points for Sam Merrill. So you're talking about 3 guys off the bench who should have been in double figures, but just 1 point shy. DeAndre Hunter wasn't super effective for you tonight. He was only 6 points off the bench, still found a way to get it done. Isaac Okoro got you 3. And everybody in your starting lineup got you double figures. 13 from Evan Mobley, a low night for him. Really strong first quarter. Really didn't have much to do in the last 3 quarters. Jared Allen, 5 of 6 here. Max Strus is the high man in this game. And look, I don't think a lot of Milwaukee Bucks fans would have thought that in a game where Max Strus scores the most points for the Cavaliers, and that's his season high 17, or tied for his season high 17, and Giannis goes off for 30 and then Dame follows him with 22, that the Cavs would be able to win that game by a comfortable margin. But here we are. A lot of people, when they talk about the Cavs, it feels like they're stuck in a older NBA mind. It's like that big 3 era, right? Like there was an era of basketball from about 2010 to when did KD leave the Warriors? 2019. I think the Kawhi ring was the end, in my opinion, of the dominance of the concept of the big 3, right? But from 2010 to 2019, if you talked about basketball, if you watched basketball, it was obsessed for those 9 seasons about star power. How much of it can you accumulate? Can you get more star power? Think about it like this. LeBron James joined Kyrie Irving in 2014, and all we could talk about is they got to add one more star. That's how star power obsessed that era was, right? Kevin Durant joins the Golden State Warriors. This was an era of top-heavy basketball. And a lot of us grew up in that era of top-heavy basketball, have our instincts born in that era of top-heavy basketball. Big three era back. How many stars do you got? Can you put this guy next to that guy? But basketball, like every sport, it changes. And the big three era went away about 2019. You look at the teams who won a championship since 2019, it's been less of that big three and more about a balanced roster. And the Milwaukee Bucks, this would be a team in 2015 and 2018 would have gotten people really excited, right? 2019 would have been super exciting because you got Dame, you got Giannis. It's that star power there. Got a couple of solid role players here. There's reason to be excited. But then they run up to a team against the Cavs who, look, the Cavs beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee convincingly on a night where arguably they didn't really shoot that well, at least in their starting lineup. And nobody got 20. And it's not like this is rare for the Cavs to do. I have seen a lot of people during this 14-game win streak, and look, it's true, the Cavs haven't been playing their cleanest basketball during their 14-game win streak. But I think that's what makes this win streak so impressive, is that they're able to have these nights where Donovan's not going to give you much. Darius isn't going to give you much. Darius went 1 of 8 from 3. Donovan went 1 of 7 from 3. Both those dudes did not shoot well. And look, here's the thing. They're going to have nights in the playoffs where Darius Garland does not shoot well. There's going to be games with the S, games, multiple games, where Darius Garland has a night like he had tonight, where Donovan Mitchell has a night like he had tonight. That's not avoidable. It's happened to Steph Curry. It can happen to you. And Steph's the best shooter we've ever seen. We've seen Steph have an awful shooting night in a giant game. That doesn't mean Steph ain't clutch, right? And I feel like sometimes we over-evaluate some of this stuff, especially with Darius Garland, which I'm going to talk on, because some of the stuff that people just like love to jump on with Darius Garland, it gets ridiculous, like how much of a hair trigger some people have for Darius Garland and his fan base for whatever reason, like whether it's like because you lost the Colin Sexton argument a long time ago, by the way, or something else. But people just tend to want to, like, if there's a player that Cavs fans, well, not Cavs fans, some Cavs fans want to throw under the bus for the littlest transgression, my bad, possible, is Darius Garland. But Donovan Mitchell's going to have a bad shooting night in the playoffs. Darius is going to have a bad shooting night. Evan's going to have a night where he doesn't hoop, where he's not very helpful. Jared Allen's going to have a night where he gets held to single digits. And you got to find a different way to win. And what's been impressive about this win streak is that the Cavs have had multiple of those nights. Nights where Donovan's not shooting well. Nights where Darius ain't shooting well. Hell, Darius ain't shot well for the bulk of this win streak. Nights where Evan, he ain't really hooping all like that. Nights where Evan don't even play. Nights where Darius Garland don't even play. Got to find a way to win no matter what. There is nothing unimpressive. And let me repeat this. There is nothing unimpressive about finding a way to win when you aren't shooting well, especially when you're doing that against great competition. If we go back, let's look at this win streak. Let's count how many teams that are still in the playoff conversation have a ton to play for that the Cavs have beat during this win streak. You know, if this is the least impressive win streak the Cavs have had all year, then this is a damn shoe-in team to win the finals, right? Because look at what they're doing. The Pistons started this whole win streak off. The let's go home 3 by Darius Garland. Okay, cool. That's a playoff team as we speak right now. The Timberwolves in the playoffs. The Knicks in the playoffs, the Grizzlies in the playoffs, the Magic in the playoffs, the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. We're up to 6 here. I don't believe the Trailblazers are anywhere close to the playoffs. The Bulls in the play-in, the Heat in the play-in, the Hornets, hell no, and the Bucks. We're talking about 9 teams, 9 games out of this 14. Where you're going up against playoffs. Like, this was supposed to be the part of the schedule that before it gets to the quote-unquote easy part, the Cavs could potentially struggle with. And not only have they been able to cruise through it from a win-loss standpoint, they've been able to do it while getting bad performances from DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter hasn't shot well the last 4 games. Donovan Mitchell hasn't shot well the last couple of games. Darius Garland hasn't shot well for the last couple of weeks. Evan Mobley's been in and out the lineup, same as Darius Garland. If they can win through this stretch, if they have enough ways to win through all of that, then why is this even something that people are remotely thinking about not being positive? Think we're overthinking it, or some people are overthinking it, right? With this Cavs team, what they are doing is incredibly impressive. Should they be on a 14-game win streak? You can argue maybe they got saved here or there, right? And teams get saved here or there, but that doesn't make what they've done any less impressive. That doesn't make how they've come out and played any less impressive. And here, on a night where star power dominates you, right? The 2 stars for the Milwaukee Bucks just flat out dominate you. And they get 30 and 22, 52 points combined between those 2 players. And your stars don't match them. Doesn't matter. Because you could just get small contributions from here, small contributions from here, small contributions from here. It's not all about having all of your points come from one source. It's a collective communal effort. And that effort is much more difficult to beat than just stopping 2 stars. This is where the NBA is, right? I think some people are stuck in that 2010 to 2019 era, that Big 3 era. But this is where the NBA is. You need to have a team that can do what the Cavs are doing if you want to be a team that gets to where the Cavs want to get to. Cavs on a 14-game winning streak. This is the second time they have achieved this feat this season. They have a chance to go on their longest win streak if they could beat the Brooklyn Nets. And then who's after that? The Brooklyn Nets and the Memphis Grizzlies, which would be tough. That's at Memphis. And then you got Orlando. If this win streak survives this stretch, right? They beat Brooklyn, then they beat Memphis, Orlando, and did the West Coast 10-30 back-to-backs against the Clippers and the Kings. And then also, Phoenix, they play them at 10 p.m. This is brutal. If they make it through that West Coast trip, they play the Jazz too on Sunday. If they make it through this West Coast trip, right? They come back from Portland, they beat then they get to San Antonio. They haven't lost the game yet. The Cavs are likely just going to clinch the 1 seed and be done with their season by the start of April. This has been an amazing run for this Cavs team. 54-10. And look, they've won so much that I think people are running out of ways to talk about it, but don't ever let yourself be fooled into thinking that you should be concerned if a team goes on the tear that the Cleveland Cavaliers have gone on. There's nothing to be concerned about. The Cavaliers are absolutely just an elite basketball team. And that means, hey, our stars, who are naturally going to have ebbs and flows throughout the season, right? They can have those ebbs and flows and we can still win. That should make you feel a lot better. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.